This week's mobility tip is great for this day and age because we're constantly on computers, driving, texting, using our phones, things where our wrists are in fixed positions. What we're going to do is we're going to wrist mobility, being able to articulate our wrists completely through the 4-range of motion without pain, without discomfort. A couple of ways we can go about this is a wrist stretch in which we're bending forward, just on all fours, keeping our fingers splayed away from one another, so we're keeping our fingers out, putting them down on the ground, making full contact, and just shifting our weight forward. We'll begin to feel a stretch. The biggest point is to make sure that our bottom of our palm is staying on the ground. So we don't want our fingers to lift up like that. We want our palm to stay down and just kind of rock forward. And while we're rocking forward, just push back a little bit. Push yourself back manually and then come back forward, and then again, kind of go through this range of motion. Each time trying to get a little bit farther forward. Another great tip is for wrist flexion. So we're end up kind of rolling our wrist forward. So what we're going to do is kind of the opposite of what we just did. What we're going to do is we're going to place our bottom of our hands or the back of our hands on the ground. We're going to splay our fingers still. We can even tuck them under our knees. And we're going to kind of rock back this time. And this time we're going to try to extend our wrist while keeping our fingers stable and pull ourselves forward a little bit. All right, relax, come back as far as you can comfortably. And then we're going to push the back in our hands, push the back of our hand into the floor, trying to extend our wrist like this. Trying to bring ourselves slowly forward. All right. So your wrist will not be able to pull yourself forward or push yourself back in either case here. We're going to do is slightly move your body backward and forward. So what we can do is if you have somewhat poor or hard wrist or ankle mobility, you can send your ankles like this, your toes under. However, if you want to work on some ankle mobility at the same time, you can put your feet down like this. You can even sit on them if you're comfortable with that. Kind of going here. You may want a pad or like a yoga mat for something for your knees as well. A carpeted area may be great. But from the side, what these look like, splayed fingers, going down with straight arms, just rolling forward, pushing my hand into the ground, pushing myself back, and just kind of repeating this motion here. Trying to get a little farther each time, coming back. And then the opposite, putting the back of our hand on the ground, splaying our fingers, kind of wedging it between our knees if we need to, not let them move. Coming back as far as we can, and then extending our wrist, pushing the back of our hand into the floor, push yourself forward, coming back again, coming like this. So this is very, very simple. However, we don't really use much resistance for our wrists. They're kind of floating in free air. So using the weight of our hand isn't very much. Even just extending our hands like this, because we never use these wrist extensors often, may be beneficial, but using a little bit of resistance in the form of the floor and our body weight is great for our wrist health. Just like any other muscle, just like the muscles of our leg, the muscles of our calf, those control our knees, our ankles, and these muscles in our forearms, they actually control our wrists. So they're extremely important to keep those muscles nice and strong, keep them nice and mobile, keeping them active to a full range of motion. This will actually get rid of, in my case, I've had to get rid of a lot of wrist pain for me. I know a lot of people with carpal tunnel, and it's helped alleviate some of the symptoms. It's not going to completely get rid of everything, but it's a great way in stepping toward the right direction of where you want to be going for your wrist mobility. You can move our wrists through full range of motion, unrestricted, without any real pain. This isn't perfect mobility by any means, but I have more than some people, but I'm still working on mine every time I can. It's because I know it has to get better for me to be able to be a better person and have less pain overall. Thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to talking to you.